7:30 a.m. on the 24th of January 2023 here in the city of Cusco, and so far everything is normal. Usually when protest action starts to really ramp up, it's a little bit later in the day, so my niece and I are gonna see about going out for breakfast. As you can see behind me, there are city buses running, taxis also running. A few times before, that has continued until a certain time of the day. What we are hearing is that there are roadblocks in and out of Cusco though. So anyway, we're gonna take advantage of being able to go out for breakfast while we can.
We went to Jack's Cafe on Choquechaca, which is a favorite breakfast spot, has great cappuccinos and a gringo-style breakfast with like eggs and potatoes, etc. We walked through the Plaza de Armas, and look, it's pretty empty, no tourists. We walked down Avenida Sol past the Banco de la Nación. I've sped up this video to make it easier to see what all we're doing. Pretty light traffic, all things considered, but everything is open and everything is attending. So we noticed that there were fewer armed guards at the Palacio de Justicia, the main courthouse. There were only 3. And the Civil Status Registry, RENIEC, was open and doing business. So that's good. We walked down a pretty deserted Pampa del Castillo, which is a street with a lovely view from it. A lot of great pork restaurants on here. You can get your pork breakfast soup, which I absolutely love, caldo adobo. Everyone else doesn't love it, but I certainly do. Anyway, normal bus traffic, everything pretty regular, and we didn't see a lot of foot traffic on this street, which normally you do. There's normally a whole lot of people walking down this street. And as we come up to turn this corner, we are getting ready to go past the Coricancha, which you see in the view right there. And this street is very deserted, very empty of tourists. There are always lots of tourists here. This is the convent at Santo Domingo on the Coricancha, which is the fabled Court of Gold that was the heart of the Inca Empire and is now, a Dominican monastery. And very popular tourist destination. It's also an amazing museum, so it's really worth a visit. And I commented that we should consider going back and just strolling around through there because there's just no tourists, right? There's no traffic. You can see that the ladies who are out with alpacas and baby sheep and stuff, who usually do a very brisk business, have no takers for pictures for a couple of soles to a few dollars this morning. So anyway, that made us decide we would go and do some retail therapy of our own. So we went and got new phone cases, and when that was done, turned out there was a watermelon vendor. Other fruit too, but watermelon. And then we had heard tell there was a new cute Asian stuff store, and we went to look at it. And what were these things? We really are not sure, but Disney brand. And then I don't know if you can really call it retail therapy when you're getting something that you actually think you really need. So we had to go buy an essential piece of kit at Manzana Pata, which has used electronics, sewing machines, knitting machines, gas stoves, kitchen equipment, and furniture, and all kinds of stuff like that. So we were making our move to go get everything done that we needed to, and we were like, ooh, look, apartment for sale. And traffic is very, very light in this area right now.
We are here where we're going to buy an empty gas can so that we can stock up more on gas that we use for cooking and hot water and stuff. So, like those, we're talking about propane, your 10 kilo tank of propane. And right now the price is 115 soles, which is double what they were. So double what they were not even a year ago. And so we just want to get one more so that we have 2 tanks in reserve, because this is what's used for the hot water here as well as for cooking, and there are words of gas shortages. So we are deciding if we're going to spend that much on it. I think we probably are. So my niece just asked me as we were looking at the traffic and getting home, is that the fire department's water cannon? And the answer is yes. Yes, it is the fire department's water cannon. So the protest is somewhere out this way right now. Probably in that vicinity over there. And it may or may not be coming back up to go down the street that we live on. I guess we will just have to see. Yep, they're down this way. You can see the flags waving. So they're probably heading down towards 28 de Julio. Okay, Peru's president right now, like every time she speaks, it is like when you're in one of those flame wars with somebody who doesn't know when to stop digging themselves deeper into a hole. Like, so today she just said even more inflammatory stuff. It's like every time she talks, it's inflammatory and it serves to escalate things. And I don't understand. I don't understand, like, the total lack of anything resembling diplomacy or whatever. So today she says, ¿Qué hacemos frente a las amenazas? Dejamos que nos quemen vivos como quemaron a un policía en Puno, which means, what are we supposed to do in front of these threats? Do we want to let them burn us alive like they burned a police officer in Puno? Do we want to let them burn houses down like happened to a congressman in Puno? Do we want to let them keep burning things and making chaos happen all over Peru and have the military and armed forces just do nothing? Inside the Constitution, it's within the Constitution for them to go out and protect the lives of 33 million Peruvians. The armed forces are behind it. They don't have contact with the people who are protesting, and we have to protect the lives and security and safety and peace of the 33 million Peruvians. Puno is not Peru, and the government is not generating any violence, which is like an interesting take for, there being almost 60 people dead and close to 1,000 wounded. Yeah, anyway, it's just all she does is say things that escalate the whole situation. So the trick question is figuring out which route we're going to walk, because it doesn't look like traffic is doing much in the way of moving. So anyway, we're going out for chicken because we're sick of sitting at home stressing out. So I sped up this video of us walking through the neighborhood and trying to find the best route to walk through the protests, because you have to walk through the protests because they're all around us right now. But I really wanted to show that they are, in fact, peaceful protests and regular people, and that this is not a particularly frightening situation. Like, certainly it's not frightening to walk past these folks who are just hanging out. And it's not particularly looking confrontational or anything like that. This is, where they make soup for everybody, and the main park next to my house, basically next to my apartment, Plaza Tupac Amaru. And it is a main staging area, yes, but it is also really considered the People's Park. And here you can see that they are rerouting traffic to avoid where there are concentrations of protesters, and we are just walking down this street here, headed for the chicken restaurant, and past, the constant sound of protest horns, which also I edited out because it really does get old. We've heard an awful lot of protest horns, and oh my God, so much noise making.
Mira, en buena hora estamos pasando, parece. Bueno, por eso estamos caminando.
Anyway, here we are at the chicken place. and we're gonna have chicken. So that's a win.
So the gas station here is playing news reports in Lima, and we're about to walk past the main protest concentration, which is also, where there's some dancing kids, it looks like. So anyway, I mean, this is our walk home. No, por allá. Por los tombos o por los... So you can choose between police and protesters, and I was like, no, let's go by the protesters. Supongo vamos allá.
No creo que querramos pasar por allá.
Eso, ¿no?
La hora de las comiditas esa.
And those are just fireworks from a fiesta. Anyway, a lot of noisemakers. See, I said we couldn't go past the police. Put it over there. Well, we're still going past the police, but we're threading the needle. Anyway, yep, this is my neighborhood. It's actually still pretty quiet right now.
So that's the situation. I mean, there have been more protests here today. They've all been peaceful. Things are definitely heating up in Lima, so who knows what'll happen. It is still the case that every time the president speaks, she says more inflammatory stuff. So who knows where this is going to go. I'll check back in tomorrow.